Next Wednesday, limited international travel will be facilitated in keeping with the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority's Phase 2 reopening plan of the Cheddi Jagan International Airport, Cjia. On Thursday, health and aviation officials toured and inspected the country's primary airport to ensure the measures which have been implemented will be effective in safeguarding citizens and tourists against COVID-19 and that all COVID-19 regulations are being adhered to. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Shamdeo Prasad urged travelers to practice responsible behavior and to not travel if they are showcasing any signs of illnesses. Prasad highlighted some of the measures being employed at the airport.
Luggage, baggage, and so on carefully also. They would be required to spray those. And for passengers arriving, we have a protocol in place to do some spraying. We will be using a non-toxic substance. Alcohol is mainly used, but we do have available other substances for other solutions for persons who would not want alcohol to be used. Spraying for everyone, at least except for children, is required. Cleaning of the environment too, to ensure that all spaces, seats, armrests, railings, and surfaces are clean.
Prasad divulged that the Ministry of Public Health is working with the Aviation Authority to ensure that physical distancing is maintained while waiting on services until the world returns to normalcy, and that all CJIA staff are equipped with the necessary protective equipment. The Chief Medical Officer called on travelers to exercise patience as the procedures currently in place are more rigid than its predecessors.
As we move into the different phases of re-establishing travel in and out of Guyana. We had a good visit to the facility, looking at all the different stages from arrival right through port health checks and the various services that are necessary for entry into Guyana. We also looked at the departure procedures and those measures that are in place to help to ensure that we are in this pandemic period, we can allow safe travel. Some of the important areas that we looked at required a little bit more patience on part of travelers in terms of their need for compliance with all these guidelines. We know that they might be a little bit more than you usually experience with traveling, along with all those security measures. So we are pleading with everyone to really work with us as we try to make this a safe endeavor.
Director of Air Transport Management at the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, Sahid Solomon, expressed concern for the safety of all passengers. The director explained that a second phase will see the reopening for limited incoming flights for Guyanese and international workers.
Phase 2, which we have slated to start from the 1st of July, will see citizens, permanent residents, international workers, diplomats coming to the shores of Guyana. And we are working to make sure that we have all the systems in place. The airline understands what will be the new requirements to operate into Georgetown. And the airport is also prepared to facilitate the movement of airlines and passengers safely through the airport and then into Guyana.
This will begin on July 1. The CJIA was reopened in the recent weeks to facilitate the repatriation of Guyanese who were stranded overseas. For the HGP Nightly News, Amel Griffith.